sort of ambiguous.
Yeah, I actually, if you look really closely, the square on there, and I took the branding out of there.
Took the word out.
I
That
took
still
the
looks like a little bit of
Stampeders out.
Stampeders
Little
there, but
bit in the corner there, but
That looks like white.
yeah.
That looks like a reflection.
This. Thank you.
Who's this agent? Gonna do a focus on here. All good? Cool. Put me out of focus.
I love the fact that we got three tall guys and a short one. We got that mic set up. Jim's got it up here. I'm like,
My introduction to TSN camera work was how to make it first.
yeah.
They started here at the back of my head with the dome my skull.
Jimmy, that's awful tall. She got that little
Let me
school
see.
for their kids.
Let me see here. Let me work on this.
You're good. We're all good.
Don't
No
break it,
worries.
Jim. Just don't break it.
No, we're all good. I was in a band, dude. It's okay. I know that. I know how to work this.
You and the Levy thing?
I'm just gonna snap it off.
I was in a band.
That line always comes in handy.
Yes.
Hey, he's with the band. And then they leave you alone. Never mind. He's sick. Sitting there, and he's outside sitting under a breeze pump, and it's just pouring on his head. Like it's funnel of water, like it's hitting my head. And security's grabbing me when I stick my head outside. And it's like, hey, he's with the band. He might be drunk there, or he's showing up under a drink stand. He's with the band.
Oh, to make your mother proud.
Okay, if everybody wants to step up and take their seats, we can get this party started. tell me when we're up on the stream. Up now? Okay. Welcome everybody to the second John Cornish Trophy presentation. Actually, the first one was on video on Crown Countdown U. I'm Jim Mullen. I'm the host and producer of Crown Countdown U. Last year we gave out an award to the top Canadian in NCAA football. This year we have the trophy to back it up. There were 139 Canadians playing in NCAA, NAIA, or JUCO football last year. We narrowed that down to a list of 16. We had a vote on the 16 qualifiers, and then we had a vote on the final 5. The voting committee was a committee of 14, and it was a collection of CFL talent evaluators, Canadian players with a connection to the NCAA and NCAA players with a connection to Canada, and the media as well. We've got lots of people to thank, and I think you're going to hear lots of thanks from this podium as we go through the afternoon. I'd like to thank the team with the Hamilton Tiger Cats who have stepped up and supported us with this event and getting this web stream out. The Canadian Football Hall of Fame for being a part of this and giving this trophy a place in the Hall of Fame to be presented. Crown Produce, which has been a stalwart sponsor for our TV show and for our radio show for the last 8 years. And to all the NCAA schools out there who have amplified this message and got the message out. We want to really put our thanks out to them. But one of those people that we mentioned was the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. Mark DeNoble is the executive director. And Mark, I would like to step up and say a few words.
Thanks, Jim. Good afternoon and welcome to the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. For some of you who don't know, we opened this facility June 1st, 2018, and we've always been working hard to make more improvements with archives and new ideas to attract more fans. Jim Mullen approached me earlier this year with the concept of the hall housing the John Cornish Trophy on a permanent basis, and I quickly said yes. Everybody associated with football in Canada and the U.S. is responsible to leave a legacy for future generations to build upon. This trophy is another step in the process for the Hall. I would like to thank Jim and David for their opportunity not only to host the event, but also the future of the award. And I would also like to thank them personally for the work they do behind the scenes for football in Canada. Thank you.
Thanks very much to Mark DeNoble. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about the trophy and how it came to pass. We've got a graphic that can go up here to get a bit of a zoom in on the actual trophy itself. We developed this with a number of different concepts in mind. We started the award last year, so we have a picture of the award winner, Nathan Rourke from last year. And Nathan, I want you to step up here because we've got a very personal thing that we're going to do with this trophy as we hand it out to winners. You were the first winner. You didn't get a trophy last year, but you can have an opportunity to sign the back of the trophy. Come on up. So on the back of the trophy here on this aluminum, you can take the Sharpie and sign your name to the back of it. And he's very considerate because it's a tiny, tiny signature. He's leaving room for the others here. There are a number of names emblazoned on the top of this award. And that's in salute to the Canadians who have played in the NCAA over the last 50 to 60 years. There's some family names in there, like Jarella and Forzani. Ruben Mays' name is on the front. Certainly through social media, we've got the pictures out, and you're welcome to check that out on social media. And this will be down at Gate 3 at Tim Hortons Field. So when people go through the main gate at Tim Hortons Field, everybody will have the opportunity to take a look at it. It's a star and a maple leaf together, And one of the reasons why we went with a picture on this trophy is because the Shenley Award is over there, and I was inspired by the Shenley Award to put pictures onto this award so you can see what the athlete looked like when they played in that year. Now, another person that I'd like to have come up to the podium and thank is David Dubé from Crown Produce. He's been the sponsor of Crown Countdown U for the last 8 years. I think I'm losing track now on the number of years. We're going into season 9. David, come on up.
It's all tall guys here, so I'll have to reach for this. First, I'd just like to say how proud we are at Crown Produce to be able to sponsor this award. I want to say a few thank yous. First, to Mark and the the Canadian Football Hall of Fame for making today happen in this very special setting. It's my first time here. It won't be the last time I come here, so thank you very much. John, for allowing your name, your career and your character to symbolize what future recipients of this award will have. For allowing your name to stand, I really want to thank you. We're proud of it. Jim, for being the driving force behind this award, for coming up with the concept, for making it happen. So for everyone in the future to be able to remember that Jim was a pioneer in making this happen. We really believe that it was long overdue to recognize outstanding Canadians in the NC2A. It had never been done before. And it gives us some great sense of pride, I think both Jim and I, to know that going forward and being in the Hall of Fame here, every year we will recognize great Canadians who've gone to play at the highest level in the NC2A. I'd also like to thank the schools for cooperating by supplying video and information and statistics on all of the finalists and during the voting process. We could not have done it without them. And finally, just to thank the outstanding finalists for entertaining us and for making us proud as Canadians to show that you can compete at the highest level in American football in the NC2A. So thank you.
Thanks very much, David. Now, the next individual I'm going to call up here, really he needs no introduction because David gave him such a great introduction. John Cornish, the man who we named this award after. John, come on up.
Thanks, Jim. And I wanted to thank you all for coming out today. This is a very special day for me. As a football player, throughout my life, I've always tried to just be the best, to just win every individual battle I faced and overcoming the larger, let's call them strategic battles that happened over time. For me to see this in the flesh, it's more of a recognition of what Canadians have done over time, where we are now in the position to have many players go down to the NCAA and succeed and win championships and that kind of thing. I want to thank Hamilton, the team, the Ticats, and the Canadian Football Hall of Fame for hosting this event. Jim and David for launching this initiative and seeing it all the way through to the creation of this trophy, and the fact that it's going to be housed here in the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. It's honestly the greatest opportunity or greatest thing in my life that's ever happened. This is a trophy. This is John Cornish trophy. It's pretty cool. But I think this trophy is about opportunity. An opportunity to recognize great Canadian players who go down to NCAA football. When I played, there was little recognition of the Canadian players. And I think with the inception of this trophy, that has changed for the better. Canadians in the States have something now to aim for beyond just playing their very best. Opportunities come and go. But the people who were nominated for this trophy all made sure that when they had an opportunity, they made the most of it. I know that's what I had to do. When I got down to Kansas pretty early in my time, I was faced with a question from my head coach that was posed in a team meeting. So in front of all my peers, I was asked, "Cornish, where are you on the depth chart?" And I had to answer honestly. 8th coach, he was like, "John, you're going to stay there." So, life happens. One guy has some trouble with the law. Another guy has some trouble with school. Another guy has some domestic issues. And then one by one, these guys sort of just, that were in my way, just sort of disappear. And all of a sudden, I'm number 2. I get my first game as running back, take the starting mantle over, win 2 MVPs for the team, set a Kansas record that still stands. Those were the kinds of things that I had to do. But every single athlete that goes down to the States has to deal with those same kind of issues. Oh, you aren't as good a football player because you're Canadian. Or you aren't as good at this because of this. Every football player has to deal with these things. So for people to recognize their achievement, the people that used to go down to the States, they wouldn't have anything like this potentially waiting for them. And now the fact that this trophy exists, players can go down to the States and they know that they aren't forgotten. We're going to be keeping our eyes on them as Canadians, supporting them every step of the way. So I know when the opportunity came, I did something. And that's why I am beyond honored to be helping present this trophy on behalf of all Canadians. We have an incredibly bright football for Canada, and the 5 nominees are all on the brink of cementing their legacy in Canadian football forever. I are so proud to recognize and acknowledge these amazing players and to carry on the legacy of great Canadian athletes in NCAA football. Thank you.
Get you to hang right over there for a second. Actually, John, come over here for a second. You get to hold on to this because that's got the name of the winner in it. And let's take a look at the 5 nominees. Chase Claypool, a junior wide receiver, plays for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish from Abbotsford, BC. Neville Gallimore, a junior defensive lineman for the Oklahoma Sooners from Ottawa, Ontario. Chuba Hubbard, freshman running back, Oklahoma State Cowboys from Sherwood Park, Alberta. Brady Oliveira, a senior running back from the North Dakota Fighting Hawks from Winnipeg, Manitoba. And Nathan Rourke, a junior quarterback from the Ohio Bobcats hailing from Oakville, Ontario. And John, I will get you to do the honors.
Thanks, Jim. So the winner of the 2018-2019 John Cornish Trophy is from Oakville, Ontario, and Ohio University quarterback, Nathan Rourke.
This is quite the honor. Obviously, there's so many amazing nominees and finalists this year, and it just continues to grow, and to be a part of that is quite an honor. I want to thank Jim Mullen and the rest of the selection committee for allowing me to have this honor, as well as John Cornish for representing great Canadian football. I want to first thank my parents and my family for being my support system, for being so encouraging and motivating in times that were really tough. I want to thank my teammates, making my job a lot easier in many different ways, specifically my O-linemen and my receivers and my running backs and everyone in that locker room that makes playing Ohio football so enjoyable. I want to thank my coaches, specifically Coach Izzy and Coach Solich, for helping me grow as a player and molding me into the player I am, and I look forward to having success in the future. And I would like to thank the rest of the Ohio staff, because people that go unnoticed sometimes, our athletic staff, our strength and conditioning staff, EQ guys, graduate assistants, and our student assistants. I think it would be a mistake of mine to not mention them because they do so much. And finally, I just want to say that it is an honor to represent Canada in the NCAA. Again, it's not an opportunity that I feel like it is underwhelming. I appreciate it so much to be able to go and represent Canada on a daily basis, and for that I'm very honored. Thank you for today, and God bless.
Okay, we will be issuing the media release through our Twitter site at Crown Countdown U. That's Crown with a K. For now, we can break off into one-on-ones for the media that's here that still wants one-on-ones. And thanks very much for coming out. We really appreciate your support in all of this. Thank you.